Hey folks, welcome back to the Night Shift. I am Steve Knight.
Now Mike Bitts.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about. We've got some anniversaries to talk about. We've got a 10-year anniversary of Solar Federation, a 1-year anniversary of this channel, and this guy actually you came back.
We did.
Yeah,
I did.
yeah. So we're coming at you right now with a brand new episode of the Night Shift. Okay, so first of all, Mike, welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good to be back.
Well, and just thank you for coming back.
Yeah, my pleasure.
You never know. Sometimes I think, well, I had fun doing the episode. And you hope the guest and you. Sometimes I say to myself, I hope the guest isn't going, well, that was pretty fun, but never again.
Oh, it's a good time. It's like, oh, you want to talk to the bass player? Yeah, that's cool. That's right.
Yeah. So thank you so much for making the time. I know schedules are busy. You're a busy guy. You've got a lot going on. We're going to talk about some of that, but welcome back. And for Solar Federation, first and foremost, 10-year anniversary.
Yeah.
Did you ever
exciting.
think that we'd be sitting here 10 years later?
I don't, probably not. I mean, you never know, what's
Right.
going to happen because, I've been in bands that started out strong and then they just sort of fizzle out. But
Yeah.
this has just been gradually growing, which is
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
I had the opportunity to have Fedge on, and I believe he said, gosh, when I first kind of started this project, I was hoping maybe if we could just play like Tell Us 360 like once or twice a year.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are.
Exactly,
It became much
yes.
bigger than that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had, because that's exactly what he told me. He didn't
Yeah.
have like these great aspirations, but
Right.
just
Yeah.
just kept going.
So big show coming up here. At this point, we're just days away.
Mm-hmm.
November 29th, Whitaker Center,
Yep.
which is a Saturday night, folks. It's also the weekend of Thanksgiving. It's the Saturday after Thanksgiving. And second time playing Whitaker Center with Solar Federation?
This will be the third time.
Third time.
Mhm.
Okay, third time
Yeah.
playing Whitaker Center. That's a big room. That's got to be a thrill for you.
It is. It's a big thrill.
Yeah.
And they it's a great venue. The people that work there are so good to us, and people that come out, they have a great time. So
Yeah.
always look forward to it.
Great acoustics
Mhm.
in that room. That when they built it, they really did it right. And you can go. We'll talk more about it, but you can go to whitakercenter.org to get tickets for the show. So get us caught up. It's been a year. What's been going on with Solar Federation?
Well, basically we're just trying to just keep doing what we're doing. We played a couple new rooms this year. We played a venue in Reading. Which was fun. It was great, and a couple other new places. So we're hoping to make some of these things like annual events, like the Whitaker Center.
Yeah.
So we just did. We didn't work quite as much this year, but that's okay because we took the time. We learned a good deal of new songs and just trying to tighten up our playing and getting things like that together. So that's been really good.
Yeah, I know. We've talked about this on the podcast. I had Eric and Julie on, and you guys are a little spread out in terms of distance
Yes.
between you guys. So
Right.
that's a little bit of a challenge,
Yeah.
at times.
It can be difficult because Eric and Julie are they live in New Jersey, so they for them to come to a rehearsal, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
They got a lot of driving, but everybody is so committed to it, so
Yeah.
it's been paying off.
The thing is that I hear, and I know more than anybody, the Rush fan base is rabid.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, rabid, and therefore, your fan base, and we're gonna get to a couple of questions that people submitted for me to ask you a little bit later on, but I'll just tell you right now, one of the questions I got was from Canada. I mean, no
Wow.
surprise there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's funny, I'll put something up about Solar Federation or something, share something on social media, and there'll be somebody that'll be like, "Tell them to come to Provo, Utah." Yeah,
Yeah, right.
we want Rush music
Hmm.
here. Yeah, you know.
Yeah,
So, you know, your fan base and the Solar
yeah.
Federation fans are really, really into you guys.
Hmm. Yeah, we often talk about how we can work in some travel
Yeah,
to doing these things. It's hard,
yeah.
with everybody's schedules, but we're plotting and scheming on a few things. So hopefully that'll uh, we can make that happen.
Um, you've got a number of. You're one of those guys. You're like a not only musically, but I think almost career wise, you're kind of a jack of all trades, and you've got always kind of have a lot of things going on,
Hmm.
and get us caught up a little bit. Obviously, you've got a great long history uh, in the Central Pennsylvania Music Hall of Fame
Hmm.
with Innocence Mission. So I
Hmm.
know you guys played a show uh, since the last time I saw you. Um, so what's going on with Innocence Mission?
Yeah, we played in Lancaster, which was great. It's the first that we played in Lancaster with everybody with the four piece in my gosh, must have been at least 20 years, and it went really well. And we've since then we've scheduled one show, and that's going to be in New York City in the spring. So I would like to come back to Lancaster again. We played. It was a place called West Art, right downtown. Tremendous venue, family's venue, and yeah. So hopefully we can come back to Lancaster at some point.
Yeah, well, I think it's just cool. I think, and I again through social media,
Hmm.
I noticed that there was quite the reaction to you guys playing a show again.
Hmm.
And I really feel like the last time we had talked, you were kind of saying, "Well, I think we might, yeah, there's some movement there
Right,
toward, yeah,
right.
toward doing something."
Yeah.
So, when are you playing in New York?
I'm sorry. Say when?
When are you playing in New York?
Uh,
When with Innocence Mission?
yeah, we're playing. It's going to be in the spring. It's a place called the Sony Music Hall,
Okay.
which it sounds. I don't really know anything about it, but it sounds like a good place,
Yeah,
a good
yeah,
venue.
yeah.
Yeah,
Now, New York, you can't go wrong, right?
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can't.
yeah. We used to play New York fairly regularly,
Mhm.
even when we stopped touring. Like around the country, we go to New York every now and again, and we always had a really good response there. So definitely looking forward to doing that again, seeing how it goes, if it's just as good as it was before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and going into next year with Solar Federation,
Hmm.
uh, can we expect more, maybe like Double Barrel Roadhouse or some different places that you played, or maybe even trying to branch out and play some different places?
Yeah, we'll hit those places. I'm sure we'll do another Double Barrel Roadhouse show. We have a couple new rooms that we're looking to get into. Club XL. We're looking.
Right.
I think we're going to get a show in the spring there. I think some of these dates are still pending, so not quite. And we'll be back at Mickey's Black Box in the spring, I believe, at the end of March. So
Um, so talk to me about Van Wersing.
I'm glad you said that because I was just going to bring that up because
Yeah,
that's the next thing that's coming up. The end of February, we're
yeah,
playing at West Shore in New Cumberland.
yeah,
So yeah, pretty excited about that. That it's a great band. Eric is just on fire.
yeah,
Uh, playing at the Eddie stuff.
yeah. So for
Yeah.
folks that don't know, um, very, very organically, Van Wersing came together with our mutual friend Glenn Hamilton
Hmm.
on vocals, Mike Waskovich, yourself, Fedge, Eric, and Mike actually is going to be on this podcast in like 2 weeks,
Oh,
something like
nice.
that.
That'll
Yeah,
be great. Yeah,
yeah.
that'll be great.
It's funny. I just met him for the first
Yeah.
time like 3 nights ago. I
Okay.
was I was
Yeah.
at West Shore
Yeah.
Theater hosting Urgent, and
Yeah.
they do a really great foreigner tribute.
Right.
And not surprisingly, I was in line for a beer.
Yeah.
And I get this tap, tap, tap on the shoulder, and I turn around, and I'm like, that guy looks really familiar, but I'm not. He's like, Steve, like Waskovich. I'm like, we finally meet. We've
Yes.
exchanged texts. He's coming. He's going to be on
That's
the
great.
podcast. But
Mhm.
yeah, so it's one of those funny things where it's like everybody knows him, but I had never met him. I don't think I
Yeah.
ever met him personally.
Yeah.
But like we have like 300 mutual friends.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. He's a fabulously talented guy. He's a great guitar player. He
Yeah.
plays bass,
Right.
in Van Wersing. He's a
Yeah.
great engineer.
Right.
He engineered. We did the video for Witch Hunt. He did the audio tracks for that too. So yeah, so he can. Yeah, he does a lot of things.
So you could tell the story better than me, obviously,
Yeah.
but Solar Federation rehearsal, you guys are just kind of noodling around a little bit and
Mhm.
start playing some Van Halen, post the video on social media, and
Yeah, I think they might have had the idea of doing something like that, but yeah, we just started messing around with Jump,
yeah,
So, um, and yeah, surprisingly, it amazingly just came together really quickly. And I don't know if we had already scheduled the Fedge of July. That was the
right,
first time that we played,
yeah,
uh, but it was around that time. So yeah, so it
yeah.
just came together. Eddie was Eric's first love. I mean, that's what really got him into.
Let me see. Eric, a guitar player, fell in love with Eddie
He
Van
liked
Halen.
Eddie Van
Yeah,
Halen for
wow.
some reason.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right. That's crazy. It's almost
yeah,
like liking Jimi Hendrix. Yeah, right,
exactly.
right. Yeah, but yeah,
Yeah,
and it just kind of naturally.
and I can tell because he just nails it note for note. I'm not even like a massive Van Halen fan. Of course, I love him,
Right.
but I recognize, oh, he's like hitting everything. So
Yeah,
um,
which is a tall ask.
scary good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, in the video, and people can see it. It's really a lot of fun when you guys just kind of like noodling around. And you go into jump, but what
Yeah.
floored me was, and I just have to ask you this because I'm not a musician.
Yeah.
Like, so how did you know you were playing keys? How did
Mhm.
you just know instinctively? Had you played that before, or you were just like, I just know how to do this?
I probably messed around with it here and there, but just from hearing it, it was such a massive
Oh yeah,
song, massive hit. You know that, yeah.
yeah,
And I just you hear it so much, you just internalize it. So
yeah,
yeah, I could play. And my keyboard, the plugin that I use. I mean, that's sort of like a default patch,
mm,
that everybody. So I could call it up pretty quick, and
yeah,
and it was like 95% there as a sound. So
yeah,
and that helped.
yeah.
I could pick it up. So,
Yeah. So from that, did you guys all kind of like look at each other and go, there might actually be something here?
I think at that point we were like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, we can definitely do this. Because I'm pretty sure we had talked about it, doing something for Fetch's
Yeah.
Fetch July show.
Yeah.
So
Well, and our mutual friend Atlanta Hamilton who sings in
mhm.
Van Wersing,
Oh
I
my
said to
gosh,
him,
yeah.
I was like, I did not know that. I mean, he's really in David Lee Roth's register.
Yeah, I mean, I knew he could sing, and I knew he
Yeah.
was a performer. I knew he could play,
Right.
but yeah, he just like he just dove right into it. Because I did one rehearsal with them before we played the show, and it's like he was nailing it.
Yeah.
So
Well, the thing is, he's also, I don't know if you know this about Glenn, but he is really good at imitations.
okay, yeah,
Like,
I can see
like
that.
kind of like the Rich Little imitations,
Right. Hmm.
and, he's one of those guys where he's got certain imitations he does really, really well. And you can literally fire at him and say, do Cartman, do this, do
Right.
that. And he can go and
Yeah.
do it. So I asked him about it and he's like, he goes, I always thought that this was something that I could do. And he goes, I've been singing in the car like David Lee Roth,
Hmm.
since I was whatever,
Right.
10 years old,
Yeah.
so when it came time to actually do it, he felt that he was kind of prepared. Like, I've been
Oh
doing
man.
this in the car all my life.
Oh yeah, he was prepared. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nailed
So
it.
that's really exciting. And so, folks, keep an eye out for Van Wersing. And who knows, where this could go. I know you guys are basically just doing it for fun. And
Yeah, there's talk
yeah,
about doing it. I
yeah,
don't know, maybe on the semi-regular. I don't know.
yeah.
So I mean,
There again,
yeah,
schedules.
yeah,
Getting
yeah,
everybody together,
yeah,
schedules.
yeah.
I mean, Mike Waskovich alone.
Oh, he's a busy guy.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
and God bless, but I have been going back and forth. I feel like I reached out to Mike about coming on the podcast like 5 months ago,
Yeah.
and between his schedule and my schedule, it was
I'm
like,
sure.
it was like, so we
Yeah.
finally have a date, and it's going to be here in just a couple weeks. So I know that's always a real challenge, but
Yeah.
the bottom line is, are you having fun?
Oh my gosh, having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, having a really good time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here we sit, it's been a year since we talked, and, you've got your fingers in a lot of pies musically,
Hmm.
and, are you still really enthusiastic about what you're doing and playing and excited? Or is it ever kind of be like, I'm too busy?
Yeah. No, it really is. The things that I'm involved with now, I kind of pared down a lot of things that I've been doing. Just trying to just focus on things that I actually really like to do. There was a
Yeah.
point where I was just playing every week,
Yeah.
just to play, just to fill the book up.
Sure.
Um, but now
Like a
I just
musician, right?
yeah, and but I have enough with because I do teaching in the day, so I do between that. Um, with that, I'm able to be a little more choosy about what I do. So now I just basically do stuff that I really like. So yeah.
After I had you on the first episode, there were some there again, like, it shouldn't be, but I shouldn't be surprised, but I
Mhm.
guess I sort of was, like, kind of like small world stuff. But I had some people who are friends of mine reach out to me and go, "Oh my gosh, Mike Bitts, uh, he worked with my daughter at Catholic high school." Like,
Okay.
yeah,
Right. Right.
yeah,
Hmm.
what I mean, and
Hmm.
people were going, "Oh, that's so cool," and a lot of people had a lot of really good things to say about you, and basically, kind of the mentorship you've had with young musicians,
Oh, nice.
you
Yeah,
know,
that's the best part about with teaching is like you get some people that are that they love music and they want to get better at it. So
yeah,
yeah, that part's been great.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so I solicited some questions
Mm-hmm.
prior to this. I wanted to, hear from a few fans, and essentially just said, "Hey, I always ask the questions.
Right.
Would you, Solar Federation fans, would you
Mm-hmm.
have any questions that you would like to ask of Mike?" And thankfully, I did get some, I got some feedback, and so I've got a few questions that I want to throw at you
Mm-hmm.
that I got from Solar Federation fans. And the first one is from, and I thought this was cool, Cindy in Dundalk, Maryland, of all places.
Okay.
Okay. Um, Pretty simple and pretty straightforward, but she basically just wanted to know. And I think she's seen you guys at Double Barrel, because
Okay.
from Dundalk, Maryland to Double Barrel, probably about an
Right.
hour,
Right.
in Red Line in York County.
Yeah. Really.
What is your favorite Rush song to play?
Yeah. There's a couple. If I did narrow it down, I love to play Digital Man, just because there's some great, really good lines in there. Uh, that's fun, and they kind of flow. They're right. They flow really good on the instrument. So, and yeah. So if I had to pick one, that would be it.
You know, it, maybe you know even better than I do, but the way, it, for those that don't know, I'm also a massive Rush super fan.
Mhm.
I'm right there
Right.
with you guys. Okay, I'm a huge fan of Solar Federation, huge fan of Rush. Um, my understanding is that the record was done, and they still had like 4 minutes of space
Mhm.
that they needed to fill, or they could
Yeah.
fill,
Yeah.
and they
I think I know where you're going
hastily,
with this.
yeah, and they
Go ahead.
hastily put together,
Hmm.
like, the record was done,
Hmm.
and then they were like, okay, well, we actually, because Digital Man's like what, 3 minutes and 40 seconds or something like that. It is not a
Something like
long
that. Yeah.
song,
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
which is very unusual for
Yeah.
Rush to have a song under 4 minutes.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so but they had the space they needed to fill, and like they just like very quickly put it together and it became a big hit.
Oh, is Digital Man?
Yeah,
Oh, I
I
thought you were going
think
to say
so.
Countdown.
No, I think
Okay.
I'm, and if I'm wrong, Lord knows, the
Somebody will
Rush,
let you know.
the Rush fan base will
A fan
totally
will
let me
correct
know.
you.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm pretty sure I'd heard or read that at some point in
Okay.
time, that that's why
Well,
it's
that's
of all
brilliant.
things, it's a
That's the
pretty quick
case.
song.
Yeah. Mhm.
And at that point in time, I know Neil was really being influenced a lot by like reggae
Oh
sounds
yeah, the
and the
Police.
Police.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
All of yeah, mostly Neil, but yeah.
Yeah, so I think Neil was like, okay, well, we've got 4 minutes, and I'm gonna write a
Yeah.
song that I would write for the Police.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that's the thing about that band. They were still young enough that they were
Mhm.
still listening to new music, and I think that's why they survived. for
Yeah.
so long.
Yeah.
They always wanted to push forward. They were listening to new, to what was coming out
Right.
recently. So if they'd have stayed in Hemisphere's
Yeah.
land,
Right.
their career would have ended up a lot different. But they moved forward
Yeah.
with that. So, and I know they probably lost a few fans along the way, but they gained so much more, and
Right.
they had longevity.
Right.
And when they went out, they were on top. So.
Yeah. Um, I'm not sure where this guy he said he was from Pennsylvania,
Mm-hmm.
but an interesting. It's Mike. Mike in Pennsylvania, and I know it wasn't you, but Mike in Pennsylvania. He wanted to know. I'll put it to you this way. He wanted to know your favorite Rush album, but I'll say this:
Okay.
if you have to go to a deserted island and you can only take one Rush record, what are you taking?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's a tough one. Probably Permanent Waves. Probably. Now, for decades, and Fedge and I have had many conversations about this.
Yeah.
For many years, my all-time Rush album was Hemispheres, because that was the peak of their prog, and I was such a prog rock guy
I know you're a big
in the
prog
'80s
guy.
and '90s.
Yeah.
And so I remember Fedge at one point he said something to the effect of, "What is it with you old dudes and Hemispheres?" Because he's
You're not that much older than him.
he's
but
10 years younger than me.
Yeah,
So
right.
he had a different experience growing up. He in the '80s was Power Windows era, and that's his favorite record, which is great.
Right.
And that was kind of the point where I sort of drifted away from him for a while. I came back, but so, but I'm probably gonna say Permanent Ways, only because Moving Pictures has been played to death. It's been maybe overexposed. Maybe it's probably their best record, but that's an argument you can make. But Permanent Waves had that drive, that energy, because they were running away from what they had done previously and diving into this new thing. They were getting into the Police, and you can hear it, in that.
Yeah.
So I'll say that. And I like Jacob's Ladder a lot, and Natural Science, of course. So
Of course.
they push it over the edge there.
I 3 years ago for Christmas, um, my wife and my boys, threw their money together, and they got me the Permanent Waves vinyl box set.
Oh wow!
Which has
nice.
all these extra, and it's got a live show and
Mm-hmm.
and everything, and so it's Christmas time. You just kind of randomly, okay, we're taking turns opening up gifts. Okay, well, let me open up this square package, and I open it up, and I'm just like, and I looked at all of them, and I went, okay, you didn't have to get me anything else. Like this
Right.
completely has made my
Mhm.
holiday season.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
And oh, by the way, I hate to actually turn off the Christmas music that's on right now, but
Yeah.
I'm putting Permanent Waves on the turntable right now.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah,
Yep.
I love that record. And
Mhm.
one of the things I always loved about that was, speaking of Neil, the reason they called it Permanent Waves
Yeah.
was because at that time New Wave was a big thing.
Okay. Yeah.
And,
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
and they were kind of getting into it, and they did, but as a band they were kind of hearing like, well, what is, everybody's in the new wave now. Everybody's in the new wave.
Yeah.
New wave
Yeah.
is the thing. New wave.
Right.
And they're in typical Rush fashion. So what do? They go, well, guess what? This is Permanent Waves. This is not new wave.
That's great. I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah, this is not a fad. Yeah, yeah, this is Permanent Wave.
Exactly.
That's why it's called Permanent Waves.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice. That's great.
Yeah. So I also got a question. This is from Chuck, who's actually close to home. Chuck in Elizabethtown. He wanted to know, and this is always a great debate, and you as a player, YYZ as an instrumental, YYZ, and I'll just say La Villa, because there's always this huge debate on how to pronounce it. La Villa Strangiato? How do you say it?
I say La Villa Strangiato. Yeah,
Strangiato.
that's
Yeah,
what I say.
That's what I.
I
Okay.
used to call it La Via. I thought it was La Via, but
Yeah.
a fan corrected me, and a fan corrected me on YYZ. It's really YYZ.
YYZ.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 So, YYZ or La Villa?
Yeah.
Your preference? Do you have one?
Oh, a preference for the song?
Yeah, for you.
Yeah.
Which one do you like better? Like playing better?
YYZ. YYZ.
Really?
Yeah, that was the song that got me, that pushed me over the edge. I was sitting in a car in a parking lot getting ready to go to band practice with a friend of mine, and he had put on moving pictures. So, and Red Barchetta was playing. I was like, oh, this is really cool. This is good. And then YYZ came on, and it just took my head off. It basically changed my life.
Were you playing bass at that time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I was.
So,
Yeah.
So you had that's such a bass heavy song.
It's so basic. Yeah, it is. And I was not like into hard rock all that much at the time. I liked funk and soul music because the bass was so prominent in that records. I was into that, and with most rock records, you couldn't hear the bass at all. So this was like a hard driving band, but the bass was like really prominent in the mix. So yeah, when I heard that, so YYZ for sure. That's what set me off.
Yeah. Final question, and this comes. Now this name really threw me. I couldn't figure it out, but apparently it's Jeff backwards.
That guy.
Yeah, there's some
weird.
guy named Fedge, which I don't know. Fed, what is he, like from Sweden? I don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows? He wants to know what was the inspiration behind you wearing a Winger T-shirt to Solar Federation's gig at Double Barrel Roadhouse in New York.
Of course, he would ask that.
What's with the Winger T-shirt, Mike?
I was one of those idiots that just loved Beavis and Butthead.
I still do.
And I watched it, and I just thought seeing Stewart wearing that shirt, I just thought it was the funniest things I ever saw.
Agreed.
And a couple months ago, it was like an ad that came by on some social media platform, and I saw it, and I said, I must have that. Yeah. And I thought just for, my peer group, that some people would think it was pretty funny.
Yeah, it is. It's
funny to a few. Yeah.
For those that don't know, Beavis and Butthead, of course, they wore Metallica and AC/DC. Yeah. Then they had this nerdy buddy, Stewart. Right.
Yeah.
And he shows up rocking a Winger T-shirt. About the funniest thing.
It is the funniest thing.
I'll share this with you. I actually heard Kip Winger on a podcast, and like everybody else, I was like, ugh, Winger. When they right. Golly, and he's still out there and he's still doing it. And the thing is, like, all these years later, in retrospect, the guy's actually a really good musician.
I learned that not too long ago.
Classically trained,
right?
Like he's actually like,
and he apparently composes orchestral music.
He does.
Yeah.
And look, you've been in the music business all your life. You get it.
Yeah.
The record company got a hold of him. They realized they had something in him that they could sell in terms of his looks and the packaging and everything, and that was cool at the time. Yeah,
absolutely. And at the time, I was never into the hair rock thing. But listening to it now, you'd be an idiot to not think they were great musicians.
Yeah,
all great musicians.
Right.
And Winger, they were a great band.
Yeah,
it's not my thing, but they were great.
Right. And so it's God love him. He essentially said, I was really bitter for about 25 years of basically becoming the butt of jokes.
Right.
I mean, how would you like if you're watching Beavis and Butthead and like the nerdy character Stewart shows up and he's wearing a T-shirt that says "Bits"? Would you be like, oh my gosh, like I gotta find a rock to crawl under.
Sorry, Kip.
Yeah.
I feel like a dumbass now.
Yeah. My street cred is completely gone. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, but I give him a lot of credit because he's stuck with it, and it's funny now. He will go out and he still will occasionally play Winger shows, and guess what? There's an audience for it.
Good for him.
Yeah,
there is an audience.
They can play like 2,000 seat halls, and there's an audience for it.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Good for him.
Yeah, but I saw you wore that shirt to the Van Worsten to the Fedge of July,
Yeah.
and I saw you in a picture of that shirt, and I about fell out of my
I,
chair
I,
laughing.
I was mostly hoping to get a reaction out of Glenn,
Yeah.
and he delivered.
Oh yeah.
I knew
Yeah.
as soon as
Yeah.
he saw it.
Yeah. Oh man, that's so
Yeah.
good. Well, before we let you go here, and again, thank you so much for taking the time, and thank you so much for coming back. I
Oh,
know you're a
pleasure.
busy guy. Um, it's really a treat for us to have you back. Um, can't let you go without asking you your thoughts on. Obviously, we talked almost exactly a year ago, last November.
Hmm.
If you would have told me that there was going to be any kind of version of Rush that was going to be touring, I would have said no way.
Right, right.
Obviously, huge announcement here about 6 weeks ago. And I personally, I'm struggling with calling it because I've had people say to me, "What do you think about the Rush reunion?"
Hmm.
And I go, "Well, it's not a reunion because one of them has passed away."
Okay.
But your thoughts on Rush going back out there and doing dates next year? What did you think when you heard the news, and how do you feel about it now?
Yeah, I'm glad you prefaced it with giving your thoughts
Yeah,
first, because yeah, I've been really conflicted about it. I mean, obviously, I was shocked when I first heard. Um, I I am so happy for the people that love Rush and that they're so excited about seeing it, and that's great. I don't need to see them. I mean, I saw Rush, and whatever they end up doing, it's going to be great. It's going to be a great experience for the people that are going to see that show, and that's where it is. I don't need to see it, but I'm super happy that they're doing it.
yeah. I was actually should tell this story. Sorry to my boss at work. I was actually in a meeting at CBS 21. We were having like a morning content meeting, and it wasn't my turn to talk. So of course other people are talking. So of course I grabbed my phone and I see a post like Rush announces.
Yeah,
I thought it was a joke.
a lot of people did. I
I
think.
thought it was. My initial
Yeah.
reaction was,
Hmm.
"Oh yeah, who's
Right.
this Yahoo on whatever
Hmm.
social media page
Hmm.
that's posting that Rush is announcing
Yeah.
dates?"
Hmm.
And so then I went to another source, and then I went to another source, and I'm like, "Wow, this is legit. Like
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
really announcing dates,
Hmm.
and they're announcing dates with a new
I know.
drummer."
Yeah.
It floored me,
Yeah.
and um, I know not sorry, Fedge, not to put words in your mouth, but
Hmm.
I know because I he was very candid about.
Yes,
Yeah, he
he's a
he was he
candid
was
guy.
not down with
Yeah.
it right
Yeah.
away
Hmm.
at all.
Hmm.
He was, and I wasn't either.
Right. Right.
My initial reaction was like, no, 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 no.
Sure. Yeah.
Um, but then after hearing, if they would have done this 5 years ago, not long after Neil passed, I would
Yeah.
really have a problem with it.
Right.
Um, I I think that enough time has now passed. Look, those guys have a
Yeah.
right to do what they want to do.
Absolutely. Exactly. They don't need anybody's permission
No,
for
they don't
anything.
need Steve Knight's permission. They don't need Mike Vitz's
Yeah.
permission.
Yeah.
They could, yeah,
And the age that they're at now too, time is
they're going to do it.
limited time,
Yeah,
and I recently had a birthday with a zero after it, and yeah, you think about those things, how much longer, so if they have a chance to go out there and do it again, good for them, and I know that they're going to deliver for the people that come to see the show. They're going to give them a great show. So
yeah.
it's,
Well, like everybody else, I immediately went to it's Annika. Last
mhm.
name's escaping me, but I
Yeah.
immediately went, to YouTube and started watching her videos and going, you know, she better be good.
She
Uh,
is an unbelievable
she's a
drummer
really good drummer. Yeah,
and totally not like Neil. It's a totally different approach. So I'm really anxious to hear what she does with the music.
yeah.
So,
So speaking of our good friend Glenn Hamilton,
mhm.
I was fairly wishy washy on
Yeah,
the whole thing and kind of going, maybe I'll come around. And Glenn
Yeah.
texts me and he goes, uh, he's like, Eric Worsing,
Yeah.
guitar player at Solar Federation.
Mhm.
He's got a Citibank card, and so he has access to the Citibank pre-sale.
Right.
You know, do you
Mhm.
have any interest? And as soon as Glenn said that to me, I went, of course I do. Glenn, if you want to go see Rush together, I'm not going
Yeah.
to say no. So Glenn and I are going to go.
Oh, good. Good.
We're going to see him at the Garden,
No. Oh my
which
gosh.
I had never
Great.
seen a concert at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've seen hockey game,
Yeah.
but I've never seen a concert. So
Oh,
yeah,
that's
Glenn,
awesome.
Glenn and
That's
I
great.
are going to road trip to New York City.
Oh
We're
my
spending the
gosh.
night.
I hope you're going to document that
Yeah,
experience.
and so I've come around to it, but
Nice.
you're
That's
the
awesome.
first person from Solar Federation that I've had a chance to ask about it, and
Mhm.
so I appreciate you candidly sharing
Sure.
how
Yeah.
you feel about it.
Yep.
Um, people don't understand, and Rush fans certainly do. But I've had other people. Well, they're playing. What's why is everybody did it?
Mhm.
There's something about Rush. There's something about the integrity of the band, the integrity of the music that we, and I know this is why Fedge felt the way he did, that we hold
Mhm.
sacred.
Yes. Mhm.
It's when it's your thing and you feel the way that you do about the band and the guys in the band, and
Mhm.
you know that was kind of my initial reaction was, oh, there should never be a Rush
Mhm.
without Neil,
Right.
but
Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
so it, 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 it it'll it's definitely going to be interesting.
Yep. I'm anxious to see the videos.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right, Mike. Well, thank you so much for coming back. 1 year anniversary of this channel. Gosh, it was so long ago that we were in another part of the studio when we did the
That's
first
right. I know.
episode together. We didn't have nearly as many lights. We
Yep.
didn't have nearly as many cameras.
Yeah.
So things have grown, and
Absolutely.
I'm really going to put you on the spot now.
Yeah.
See you in a year. Well, I'm going to see you at Whitaker Center.
Yeah.
Well, can I see you back here in a year? You might become like
Oh
the
man.
once a
Yeah.
year guy.
I would love to come back. No, I seriously appreciate you asking me. So
Yeah.
anytime.
Yeah. So go to whitakercenter.org to get your tickets for Solar Federation. Again, the date is November 29th at Whitaker
Mhm.
Center in Harrisburg. And like we said, it's a Saturday night. It's the Saturday after Thanksgiving.
Mhm.
Clear your calendars. We'd love to see you there. I'm going to be there. We'd love to see you. And thanks again for making the time, Mike.
Absolutely. Anytime. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Mike. And that will do it for another edition of The Night Shift. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Cut.
Good.
Nice. That was so much
Thank
fun.
you so much, man. That's
That was
great.
outstanding.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was so cool.